Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. As promised, I have the second journal that I kept this summer. It's sort of like a continuation of my first journal, that artist date journal. But this one was like everything. It was artist dates, it was drawing, it was painting, it was just regular writing. Everything went in here. I kind of wanted to go back to my everyday journals, my little lovely journals, you know, the little small ones. And so this one, you might have remembered, I made this one like last year. I think this was supposed to be my August 2023 journal, and I never used it. It has evolved. I tried making it like a binder type journal, and I put pockets and everything, and then I just went ahead and put back the insert in it. But yeah, I was just itching to get back into a handmade journal, and this one is actually a 6x6 journal. Normally the ones that I do are 4x6. They're little A6 size journals, but this one is 6x6, so it's a different format for me, but I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the square format. I absolutely love this journal, not gonna lie. It was my precious. So yeah, my first entry was in July 26th. It was the day that I went to the Brooklyn Botanic Gardens, my double date of the Brooklyn Museum and the Brooklyn Botanic Gardens. And I took this one because I wanted to paint in here. And I wanted to, so I drew and paint some flowers that I saw. Like I kind of wanted to do that. And so my first official entry was from July, but I took this whole thing through. I think my intention was only supposed to be August, but then I think I filled halfway. I got halfway, and then it was September. And so I decided like, yeah, it can go to September. And I didn't finish this until October 24th. As of now, as I'm filming this, it is, I mean, you'll see this maybe like a week later, but it is November 6th, so it's the day after the election, and I don't actually have a journal. Like, I have a cover that I want to make a journal, and I'll show you because it's sitting right here in front of me. I want to make another lovely journal, like another one of my little ones. See, look, this is the size comparison. So this is the A6, and this is the 6x6. This is bigger than the actual paper size, but yeah. So usually the A6 is like shorter, 6x6 is a bit wider, but I made the cover. I made this beautiful cover. This fabric, this lace, these are pieces that I got from Japan. Same with these appliques. I got them from a craft store in Japan, or not a craft store, but like, I mean, it is a craft store, but fabrics and stuff like that. Textile. Yeah, that's the right word. From when I was in Japan. And this too, like, it's so pretty. And I really want to use, I ordered a long time ago some of Nazi's printables from Amity Bloom, her shop, and it's like the French, like it has like the greens in it. It's very soft, it's very muted, it's very vintage, and I kind of wanted to do like a French cottage journal in here, but I don't have a printer. I've moved and got rid of the old printer because it was kind of broken, and I haven't ordered a printer yet, and I think I'm holding out for Black Friday because I really want an Epson Eco Tank, and I don't want to pay that much for it, so I'm hoping it goes on sale. So I can't print the printables that I want to use, and so this is like a blank cover, and I'm thinking, you know, in the meantime, this might be my journal for January, maybe like January, February, and just do something different for November, December. I don't know. I'll see what I come up with. But anyway, so this is my other half of the summer journal. And so the first page here is I drew this flower. I painted it. It's on this, this is actually a mint green, it might be like a Martha Stewart, it's textured, scrapbooking paper. And I drew the flower first, and then I decided to paint it in and color it in. And this says among the wildflowers. I think I cut that out from a Cocoa Daisy card or something like that. And this is a napkin decoupage. And yeah, these are the colors. I wanted it to be very bright and very summery. That's why the cover sort of like mimics that, like bright and summery look. But yeah, so that's the intro page. And then as always, I always have like a hello, my name is kind of picture in the front. Usually it's somewhere. Most of the times it's in the front. And this is my little introduction of what I wanted this journal to be. If you have been around for a while, I have not been crafty. Like I just have not been crafty like I used to be, like painting and inks and drawing and stuff. Like I just haven't done like the art journal thing in a very, very long time. I've been keeping written journals. So I'm gonna, like, for the last 2 years, I've been keeping like straight up written journals like this. Like this has been what I've been doing. Sometimes sticking stickers in, sometimes not, but that's pretty much how my journaling practice has been for the last 2 years. And I kind of I kind of did that instead of doing this. And so I haven't really been very crafty in the past 2 years. 2 years, like definitely 2023, like the whole entire year. And a good part, this notebook here is from this year. It's a Paper Test Designs planner that I'm actually using as my kind of soulscape journal. And like sometimes when it's like a new moon or a full moon, I would do like a little sticker collage. But for the most part, it's just straight journaling. And like I've been keeping this, and that's pretty much how I've been journaling lately. But I don't know what got over me the ending of July. I really, really wanted to get back into a handmade journal. I wanted to play with my paints. I wanted to draw. I wanted to stick my photographs in. I wanted a collage. I wanted to do all of the things. And so I had this journal already made. And so I kind of repurposed it and decided to use it for the rest of my summer. And I'm so glad I did, because I really loved going back into this. And when I started going back into this, I started doing my entries that normally go in here. And I started doing my journaling class entries in here. And I just loved having everything in this one journal. That I think moving forward, I'm gonna not do my soulscape journal. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I'm definitely not going to buy another Paper Test, because like this, we're going to go on a tangent here for a minute. It was really good in the beginning. It was so good in the beginning. Like I filled up every page of the month in the beginning. And then once we got to like July, I think July is pretty much filled out. And then I have like this many pages empty. August was okay, decent, but then I have like all of this empty. Like I have more pages in August empty, like almost half. Like, oh, it's too much. And then September, like this died. And then I think I have only a few entries in September. And then the rest of it is blank. I didn't even put the little divider for October. And again, October is like that much. And then the rest of it is blank. And then this is November, and I haven't even done November. It died. It died. I have a feeling if she ever did like an Avec style, like half the year, so there's 2 notebooks, that would have probably been better for me. But yeah, it totally died. Beautiful planner. Love this planner, especially for how I use it. I absolutely love it, but I think I'm ready to kind of put all my journaling into one place. And if I need some, like a lot of these are just like, I have things I need to get off my chest. And so I just go in and I say, Dear Universe, and then I just dump. I have little Muji notebooks that I used before I bought this. And I think I'm just gonna use the Muji notebooks to do kind of like a dump, right? For the most part, I'm going to use one of these journals. Anyway, that was a long little tangent there. But yeah, I was craving this. And so that's kind of what I wrote here, is that I was like, I wanted to be more creative in my journals again. And that was like the intention. So I set an intention all the time as my introduction. I printed out that picture again of the gardens, because these pages were made at the gardens. And I think I did a little journaling here. on some, this is a card that I got when I ordered some shoes online. It says, take a breath and begin again. That was my August for me, starting over with my creativity. I had gotten, like, I used a lot of this Cocoa Daisy collection in my previous, that artist date journal, and so I kind of incorporated some of it in here as well. This is a palette swatch, so I kind of rearranged my palette and took out some colors, so I made a new swatch card for that, and I put the old one in here, and then I did my August introduction in here. So this was my intention, my state of being, my intention, photograph of me at the time, and this is my introduction. And then I swatched some colors. I was trying to pick out the colors that would go with this color scheme, and I think I settled on like these here. Like, I love those. Like, that was a beautiful palette. And so, yes. And like, I picked out the stickers that I was going to use, the washi tape. I love this one from Nazi. And like everything, you'll see the napkins that I picked out, everything is bright and colorful and just fits with this theme of this journal. So this was that entry of the little flowers that I painted at the park. Like, I sat there, I walked around for like hours, and then I went back to the cherry blossom esplanade, the cherry esplanade, and I sat there on a bench and I took out my watercolors and I just played. I literally just played. This is a paper. I think is it a Planner Society paper? Or is it paper from a magazine? Probably. It's probably a Daphne's Diary. It's beautiful. I just kind of left it as is. And I put nature inspired here. This journal is very naturey. Again, I use a lot of that Cocoa Daisy collection. That Cocoa Daisy, sorry, if you know about Cocoa Daisy, they're planner kits. Like, it's a subscription. Well, you can get individual things from the store, but it's usually a monthly subscription of like planner and stationery stuff. Their Daisy Dories is their little TNs. Their notebooks, the paper in it is, oh my God, gorgeous. So this entire journal, for the most part, I used my fountain pens. This entire journal that I showed last week, all these paper pages are Cocoa Daisy pages, and I used all of my fountain pens. I have two that I use regularly for this. I used, both of them are TWSBIs, and this one is my TWSBI Echo in a fine nib, and this one is a medium nib. And this one has Diamine Celadon Cat ink, and this one has Sailor Manyo Fuji, I think it's Fuji ink in it. I find that the medium nib kind of puts more ink on the page than this one, of course, but this ink makes it look pretty. This is the Sailor ink. But anyway, my point is that the writing experience with those two TWSBIs on this paper is so good, so good. I love it that I actually went and bought some more of her little TNs. I have a few in B6, I have a few in passport size, and I have a few in A6 size, so that I can just take them apart and use them in these journals when I make them, because the paper is just gorgeous for writing with my fountain pens. And I have a bunch of fountain pens and I don't use them, and so I really wanted to start using them, and so this summer was able to use my fountain pens. These have been my favorite. I love writing with TWSBIs because they hold so much ink. I don't have to remember to fill up my pens, and so I have 3 TWSBIs. I have these two, and I have the Parisian, not like Parisian like in Paris, Prussian. Whatever. It's a green. It's a beautiful green color. It's a deeper green than this, but it's a deeper teal green, I should say. This is the mint. And oh my God, they just released a sky blue one, and I really want that one. I really would love the baby pink one, but that was like an old one, like that's a limited edition one, and like you can find them now, but they're more than what, $34 that you get these. Yeah. Beautiful pen, reasonable. They're about $34, $35, wherever you get, like depending where you get them. And they're lovely. I love writing with my TWSBIs. I love them so much. Anyway, that was another tangent. I'm sorry. If you have any questions about fountain pens, like I'm not like an expert or anything, but I can share my fountain pens. I can share, I don't know if that's a video that people want to see, my fountain pen collection. I have a little collection, a little stash. I have a little stash of inks too that I'm kind of building. But yeah, it's a rabbit hole. If you just be prepared, it's a very, very expensive rabbit hole, fountain pens. So if you want to take a deep dive in that, just, watch your wallet. Watch your wallet. Anyway, so, okay, August 8th. Oh, I did my Lionsgate journaling here. And so August 8th, 888. I wrote 888 even though the year isn't 8. But if you add 2024 together, it's 8. So this was like a really special Lionsgate that in numerology, everything was 888. And 8 is infinity. It is a good time to manifest, just like 111. So we already had November 1st, but November 11th, I don't know when this video is coming out, but hopefully you've manifested on those dates. So I wrote about my Lionsgate here. This is actually a page that I pulled from Susanna Conway's book. If you remember, one of my unraveling journals was an altered book using one of Susanna's books. I had bought 2 copies, one for me to read and then another one to tear apart and use. So I have all the pages, and so this is one of the quotes from her book. And then just my journaling. This is another one of those decoupage with these napkins that I had. And you can see here, so this is this Twisby. It's a medium nib with the diamine ink. You see how it like feathers on this paper. This paper is like really cheap planner paper that I put gesso on. And this is the Cocoa Daisy paper. So good. So good. So just more journaling. This is August 10th. And I went to Industry City on this day. I basically went to Daiso on this day at Industry City. I bought some earrings from this lovely girl's little stand. This is one of the Cocoa Daisy. I bought some things from Cocoa Daisy, and I got one of the journaling kits, and it came with this journaling prompt card that I just put in here. Just tip that in. This August 16th was a jazz and journaling at McCarran Park House, another one of Emily's journaling classes, and I got really, really creative on this day. I wasn't actually planning to go to journaling classes on this day, but she had posted on Instagram that she needed some friends there, and so I just kind of went because I had the day free. Yeah, I got really crafty. I cut up her pamphlet and I put her welcome, welcome, welcome here and just kind of decorated this out. This quote was my quote for the summer. It's, I have done nothing all summer but wait for myself to be myself again. And I think it's either Virginia Woolf or Georgia O'Keeffe. I forget who said that. I should know this, but I don't. But yeah, that's pretty much how I felt this summer. Like I felt like I was in the process of finding myself and like looking for myself again. And if you know my story, I mean, you can go videos back and like catch up. I'm not going to say it all over again here, but yeah, I've just, just been in that kind of feeling of being lost, like not knowing who I am anymore. And this summer, I guess going out on these artist dates and like really being intentional to go out on these artist dates, going out on these solo dates and like pushing myself to do things that I normally wouldn't do. So my word for this year was actually a phrase. It's have courage, dear heart. And so a lot of courage happening this year and just kind of putting myself out there and getting myself out there. And that's probably, I mean, granted, I've been in a transition phase. I've been moving and all this other stuff all at the same time. But I haven't been home because I've just been taking myself out, especially during the summer. I was like, I had events like every week that I would go to and meet new people and talk to new people and be good, like be okay going somewhere by myself, not feeling anxious, not having that social anxiety that I usually get, and just feeling a level of confidence to talk to a complete stranger. And I mean, most of my artist dates have been these journaling classes because this is something that I love to do, and like having like a physical community of people who actually enjoy journaling too, and you do it together, and it's just nice. I go a little all out and like I get creative and stuff, but it's just been really nice, and it's been something that I do for myself. So yeah, like this was my theme for the summer. So I put it there because I was feeling it really deeply on this day. And this is the welcome meditation. I just kind of put it in here. I tipped it in. This is my journal before the pen and of that night. So that was really nice to have there as well. And more collaging. This is all from the journaling classes. But of course I did all this stuff beforehand. This is one of my whiteout poems, and I love this one. This one says, "A month later, I was in the garden again, writing more things in a notebook. Turning up my diary, I find I was writing. It's all very well." Because I've been in this weird... the only way I can explain it is I've been in a series of and spaces. If you heard me talk about and spaces, it's an idea from Liz Lamoureux that we can hold two different feelings at once. We can be in two different states at once. We can be happy and we can be sad. We can be grieving and we can show joy. You know, it's like these dichotomies, and we can be happy, but we can also feel heartbreak. We can have hope, but also uncertainty. I'm pretty sure everyone's feeling that right now. Holding on to hope while also feeling really uncertain about the future. But yeah, it's the and space. It's living in between those two things. And I have been through a series of and spaces this summer. A lot I write about on my blog at tiffanyjeweler.com if you're interested. But yeah, and so just navigating all those things and just seeing those on this page, like that was on this page, you know, all is well. Like, yes, you're navigating all these different and spaces, but at the end of the day, everything is okay. Everything's okay. And then this was a response to one of the prompts, the good things, and I listed out the good things. And for me, what came up was saying yes. Because a lot of times, you know, you say no. Why say no when you can say yes? This was a drawing that I did, and I meant to watercolor it, and I started and never finished. This is a pocket, and I think in the pocket I put all the prompts from this journaling class in here. So this was the day that I went to the Botanic Gardens for my herbarium class. And so I journaled it out again in here because I wanted it in here as well because it was in August. And so this was the cute little... So we were able to pick flowers from the children's garden, and the children's garden was closed, but it was open exclusively for us. And this is the little kind of main house of it. And then if you go that way, you go through the gates into the garden. And it was so cute. I was like, this is so cute. The fact that this is in New York City, it's adorable. Again, more decoupage there. And then this was another journaling class that I went to. It was a collaboration between Emily's journaling classes and something called Storytell, which if you remember from my previous video, I talked about going to the Moth's Story Slam and how it's like a short story slam and all this stuff. Anyway, Storytell is basically the same concept, except very low-key, very intimate, not a competition. It's more of like coming together with a group of strangers in like a really cozy place and sharing stories around a theme, the theme of the night, but sharing personal stories with each other and just like opening up for community and conversation. And Emily did a collaboration with, I think her name was Rachel, the creator of Storytell, and the theme of the night was courage, which was so on brand for me because my word was courage, or have courage, dear heart. And I remember this one being on a full moon. So this was a full moon in Leo, and I remember the theme of this full moon on this day was creativity and courage. And when things happen like that, when there's synchronicity, it's more than a coincidence, at least for me. And I always make mention that because multiple times that has happened at a journaling class where it's like some astrological event is happening and the meaning behind it always relates to whatever themes come up in the journaling class. And so this one, of course, I had to make mention of it because it was a full moon in Leo, and Leo is the sign of courage. And this new moon was all about creativity and having courage. to be creative and to, you know, yeah, just to be courageous. And I just thought it was fitting that the theme for the night was courage. And the fact that it was like my one little word. So this is my response to courage, to like the prompts. Yeah, and then I have a pocket here with the actual like prompts, and not a whole lot of journaling this night because we did do half journaling and then the other half was the story tell portion. And I got to tell my story about courage, which was really nice, which was pretty much my story of my artist dates and why I'm doing them and why, like what led to them, which was the heartbreak part, and like why I'm doing them and like what I've gotten out of it, because it's a very courageous thing to do. A few days later, I did an event at Flower Cat called Art Your Chart. It was an event put together by Mackenzie. She's one of the baristas at Flower Cat. She does like birth chart readings and tarot readings, and I guess she has like a little thing that she does with her friends called Fun Coven, and they throw events that are kind of astro themed. And so this one was, we created a visual representation of our birth chart, and this one's mine. Well, this is a picture of mine. I'm actually going to go get mine to show you. So this is my birth chart, or a visual representation of it. It's very shiny. It's very sparkly. This is a quartz stone, crystal stone in it. These are actually dried flowers. So Flower Cat, the owner, Susanna, I believe that's her name, she does floral arrangements and she runs a cafe. And so she sells a lot of her bouquets at the shop as well. And so she had a lot of these dried flower petals. And so a lot of the earth signs are flower petals, a lot of the blue and like all these like sprinkly and like iridescent, that's the water signs. Anything that's like yellow, bright, that's fire, of course. And then air is like this one. Yeah, I loved this. It was an amazing event. I would have never thought to like art my birth chart, like actually create art, a piece of art, but my like a representation of my birth chart in that way. And we learned about our individual birth charts and astrology and all that stuff, and it was such a fun night. It was a very small, intimate group of people, and like I shared my little table with, I believe her name was Haley, and she was my little craft mate for the night, and we had such amazing conversation. And our table was the messiest table. Like this idea of putting the crystal here was Haley's idea, and I kind of stole it because I thought it was genius. And we both created full charts, and our table was full of glitter, it was full of stickers, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. We had a great time. We had a great time. We each got like our little matcha teas, and I got a cookie, and it was a really nice like 3 hours that we were able just to craft and talk about astrology and life, and it was so fun. And I want to do this again because it was a really, really good time. I love Flower Cat. Like I would, anytime that I'm in Greenpoint, which is not very often, usually when I go to Yoseka Stationery is literally like down the block from Flower Cat. So if you exit Yoseka and you, like if you're standing, like if you exit Yoseka and you take a right onto Noble Street. And if you take Noble Street down, I think like 2 avenues, you'll hit Flower Cat. And so anytime that I go to Yoseka, I always go to Flower Cat and get me some matcha tea and maybe a cookie, because their cookies are amazing. And I'll sit there and like I'll write or I'll read. And then I'll pretty much come home because I don't live in Brooklyn, but love Flower Cat. It's such a cute, cozy place. Thank you, Emily, for doing your journaling class there, because I would have never known about it hadn't I gone. So yeah, this was a fun event there. And then we're like jumping, like this was on a Thursday night. This was a Friday, the next day. I had this Friday off. So my company they've been giving us a Friday off every month. It's sort of like a wellness Friday that we can take. We can work that day or we can just take it off. And I normally just take it off. So this one, I went on an artist date, one of my date trip artist dates. I went to New Haven, Connecticut. It's been on my list to go to New Haven. It's just, I've never gone, and it's so easy to get there. From New York, you just get on Metro North and you go straight up. Where my mom lives, she lives a couple of blocks away from the Metro North station. And so I went there really, really early in the morning, got the train to New Haven, stayed on that train to the last stop, and had the day to explore New Haven, Connecticut. So I just journaled about my day trip, my artist date here. And like, this is a complete tip in. Like, I tipped in this whole bag. I went to this little shop called Strange Ways, and it's kind of like a shop that curates art from different like small businesses. And I think they cater specifically to women and LGBTQ owned small businesses. And so you can find things where you can find there like stickers, iron-on patches, enamel pins, keychains, like journals, tarot decks, art books, like things like that. Sometimes you can find, like, I think they carry mugs and stuff like little gifty things, right? And so I had done a lot of research because I only had a day in New Haven and I wanted to see all this stuff. Now, New Haven's not a big city. It's not a big city at all. It's really small. It's basically a college town, and most of the stuff is Yale. And so I really wanted to go see most of the things at Yale. The thing is that everything closes really early in New Haven, even in the summer. And so I had until 5 p.m. to do a lot of things. And so I really had like a list. One thing I wanted to do on my list was go to the new Yale Peabody Museum because they renovated it. I had never been, so I don't know what it looked like before, but this was amazing. I loved this place. It's like the Museum of Natural History here in New York City, but I think like 10 times better. Smaller, it's much smaller, but I think the stuff that they had in it was like way better. So this was a fun thing. I did this one first because this was one of the places that closed at 5. I did that first. I did the Rare Book and Manuscript Library because I wanted to see the Gutenberg Bible. They have a Gutenberg Bible here. And it's really cool. This was another place that closed at 5. And the third place that I wanted to see, which I did not get to go see because I didn't have time, was the Yale Art Gallery. And so I'm going to have to make a trip to New Haven again just to visit the art gallery because I didn't get to see it. I wanted to do all of that. Then I also wanted to have some pizza, and like I did a lot of research. I was on Reddit. I did a lot, and I wanted some traditional pizza from New Haven. And so I ended up going to Modern Pizza, which was supposed to be one of the best, one of the 3s. And that was a wait. I was there by myself, so I didn't wait as long, I don't think, but it was definitely a wait. I spent a good like 2 hours there. That's a wait included because it was just so busy. And I guess I should have anticipated that because the internet told me. But I went there after I did the Peabody Museum because it was a better walk. And then once I finished with that, I ended up going down to more of the city center where I went to Strange Ways. I went to this little, it's kind of like a Japanese gift shop, and I bought me one of these mystery Sanrio things, and I got Pocheka. And then this was a pin backing from one of the Strange Ways pins that I bought. I just did journaling there. But I have all these things, my receipts and everything. I have them in this pocket that I made out of the gift bag, because I bought a bunch of things at Strange Ways. I bought a couple of pins. I bought a couple of patches and some stickers. This is some sticker packaging. This is one of their business cards. Independent artists. They have a website. I don't know if you can buy from the website, but they're only located in New Haven. So this is actually a really cool shop. I really enjoyed the shop. This is a postcard from the Rare Books and Manuscripts Library. Basically, all their rare books are like housed in this glass contraption, and you're not allowed in unless you're like a researcher or a student at Yale or professor or whatever like that. But yeah, but it was really cool to see. So I took a postcard, I put it there. Some Strange Ways stuff. I did get another Cocoa Daisy order that day, so I had to put that there as well. But this is a really very chill day at New Haven. Not a big town at all. Very college town. Walked through Yale. Very pretty. Wish I had more time. Like, I think this is a place where you have to do 2 days, like 2 full days. That, or I had to have gotten there earlier than I did. Just to have more time, because everything closes early. That was the thing. If everything stayed open at least till 8, I think I could have gotten more out of it, but everything closed at 5 for the most part, and it's just like, what am I gonna do with that? But yeah, I might go back again. Maybe not by myself this time though. It's probably funner with somebody else. This is part 2 of my herbarium class at the Brooklyn Botanic Garden, and you can see the result of that class. I apologize about the glare here from my lights, but these are some of my press specimens. I actually laminated this one because I knew I wanted it to go in my journal, and so I didn't want it to like fall apart everywhere, but this is Sweet Alyssum. I guess that's what the flower is called. And this one's from a red raspberry bush. And this is Japanese balsam flowers. This one, I put a little bit of matte medium on top. So hopefully that keeps it sealed up good, but it's a bookmark. And I just did my journaling there, have the bookmark here, have my little tip-in of some of my pressings. I have more pressings, but I just wanted a few of them in my journal. This is another napkin decoupage, and then I did my journaling here. This was my my little name tag thing. It's a lot of journaling, more of that decoupage. This is a really nice class. I enjoyed it. It was like a nice reprieve. This was like a random drawing that I did. I don't know what I was doing. It's not finished, but I never finished it. I did a different journaling event at this kind of a metaphysical store that I didn't know existed in the Upper West Side. I ended up buying a crystal. I ended up buying a selenite bowl, which I really, really wanted to hold my little crystals. I'm actually going to go get it because it's so pretty. So it's in the shape of a star, and I have like all these little tumbles in here. But it's so pretty. It lives on my bookshelf. And I'm like, oh my God, I love it. It's in the shape of a star. So I treated myself to that before the workshop. And it was a full moon in Pisces, I think, workshop. Yeah, so there was Pisces, eclipse, full moon. So she gave us like this little journal where I did most of my journaling in. So I just kind of tipped it in. And then I did more journaling here. This is another pocket, another envelope from the Strange Way store. But this is when I got my Hobonichi order. And so I put the Hobonichi stickers. I bought a Hobonichi Han. I have no idea what I'm going to use it for, to be quite honest. I got the Liberty Fabrics one, of course. And so like the Hobonichi packaging kind of put there. Cinnamon roll pouch. This was from Daiso. Did I go to Daiso again? I might have gone. Yeah, I did go to Daiso again. Yep, I did. So that's there. Got me a pouch. This is that little story booklet thingy that you get with your Hobonichi. So I just kind of tipped it in there. And for the record, I got this Hobonichi Han, the Liberty Fabrics Han in A6, and I have it in this. This is an old Hobonichi cover, which is a hot mess. I don't remember what year this is. This is the Blossom cover. I got mine secondhand, and I actually removed the pen loops because I hate those butterfly pen loops, but I really love this cover. I love the embroidery on it. It's dirty because I use it without a cover on cover because I just like feeling everything, and I decided to put my Han in here because just like the color here and then opening up to this, it's just so beautiful and perfect. And I don't need this to go into there because it's not going to fit. But it fits really well without the pen loops. And so I have no idea what I'm going to use this for. I bought it because I'm a sucker. I'm literally a sucker, and I love this. I love this, and I've had a Hobonichi, like a regular Hobonichi, I think before they ever did the Hans, and I wanted to try out a Han, but I honestly had an idea for this, had an idea of what I was going to use this for, and then when I got it, I'm not going to use it for that thing. I'm not going to use it for what I was going to use it for. So I have no idea how I'm going to use this, like, at all. But I have my little Aristocats pencil board in here. I have a lot of Hobonichi things, but I don't use Hobonichi. I just really like their accessories. So anyway, I got the Han, and I don't know if you saw me when I pulled this out, but I got this little, the Liberty Fabrics, like, pen case. This is amazing. I absolutely love this. I hope Hobonichi continues to make these in the beautiful Liberty Fabrics because I just put a few mild liners, some pens, some things in, and then I can just put this right on my journal and go to my journaling classes. Lifesaver this summer. I absolutely love that. But yeah, I have this Hobonichi, and I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but I have 2 months to figure that out. If you have any ideas on what I can use this for, please let me know, because I don't know. And it's so pretty, and I love it. And I have it in this cover, and it's just gorgeous, and I would love to use it. Anyway, my Hobonichi order came, so journaling about that. And then I drew this. I was going to ink it, but I just never did. This is another journaling class at Flower Cat, and I have the prompts in the pocket. And then this is what I got up to at Flower Cat. And again, this one is had a lot of fun with my stickers and stuff. A prompt that Emily does all the time is called How to Live. And it's basically writing like a stream of consciousness poem about how to live your life. And I had already done this. These are stickers. I have a bunch of Felicity Jane digital kits, and so I just print them out on sticker paper. I love how this came out. I love how that looks. Journaling classes. And then, wait, no. This was all journaling classes. This was an entry September 26th, so I think we're already in September. This was, September 24th. I got my Hobonichi in September. This was September 15th. Yeah, this was the 31st. Okay, we're in September. I ordered stuff from Altered State. My friend introduced me to this store when I was in Tennessee. Worst thing she could have ever done, because now I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with Altered State. So I made an order, got my order in the mail, and I just put in the sticker in one of the tags here. And I don't know why I journaled about something on this day. And that was the 26th. The 27th, I think I took myself out to Kinokuniya and some other places and got some stickers and just did a little journaling there. And then this is October 2nd. I did a lot of deep, hard journaling here. It's kind of personal, so I'm just going to cover it up. But I did this page, which I absolutely love. Just going on Insta stories. I haven't really been on Instagram often, but I like to check all of my Insta stories and like watch everybody's story that I follow and make sure that it's clear, like that I have no Insta stories left to watch. I don't know. I don't know why. And the day that I watched the Insta stories, Katie, if you know, Katie, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Leach. She did cut and paste a class on Studio Calico, and I think it's on big picture classes as well. But anyway, just a fellow art journaler, crafter. She was talking about her journal. She was talking about her garden in the story, and she had said, like she had wrote in the story, wanting something desperately doesn't always make it happen if the conditions aren't right. And she was talking about her garden and how the conditions of the soil and the place where she planted these flowers was not right or conducive for the flower to grow. And she knew that, but she did it anyway. And sometimes, like, she really wanted like a full field. She really wanted a full field of flowers, but like she wanted it so badly, but the conditions weren't right. So like, no matter what you do, if the conditions aren't right, it won't happen. I mean, for her, she got one flower that sprouted. So that was a win. But I read this and it just hit me like so hard in the gut, because I've been wanting something so desperately this year. Like I've just been wanting it so desperately, but I know that it's just not the right time because it didn't pan out. And so that's like me wanting something so desperately, but no matter what I do, the conditions aren't right in the moment to make it happen. And I don't know, I just had like one of those aha moments, like when the light bulb like goes off in your head. And so I had to put that in my journal. I had to immortalize that in here, and then I did my journaling about it. And yeah, just, I love how it came out too. It looked very pretty. This is one of the stickers that I bought at Strange Ways. Love that. So on October 4th, Johnny Depp, he has an exhibit in the city that opened on October 4th called A Bunch of Stuff. And it's an art exhibit of his artwork. And it's kind of multimedia. And so I went on opening night because, if you don't know, all my friends know because I've been obsessed with Johnny Depp since I was a teenager. I'm a huge Johnny Depp fan. Like, absolutely love Johnny Depp. He is quite possibly my favorite actor and just loved him since forever. Like, I mean it. Like, obsessed with him in high school. I don't say that I'm a snob. Like, I'm not like a hipster snob, but I was really pissed off when Pirates of the Caribbean came out and like everybody around me was now obsessed with Johnny Depp because I was already obsessed with Johnny Depp beforehand, and it's just like, he was my cool person. I mean, it's nice that like that kind of gave him more exposure, but it's like it's just one of those things. It's like, okay, you're obsessed with Johnny Depp, but what's your favorite Johnny Depp movie? And then they'll just say something that's more modern stuff, and like, even though he has like things that he's done in the past that are better, quite possibly, than like that's the newer stuff. There's some new stuff that's really good too. I can't front on that, but like, he has like this whole entire archive of work, you know, like, let's just go back. But my dad introduced me to Tim Burton when I was a kid. It was our thing to watch Tim Burton movies for Halloween when I was a kid. And so, Edward Scissorhands, Beetlejuice, those kind of Nightmare Before Christmas, like those were the movies that I watched as a kid. Like literally every Halloween. I know Sleepy Hollow came out in 98, 99. I was about 10 when that came out. It's also a Tim Burton movie. I remember, I think it was in high school when I saw From Hell. I'm not a horror movie type person. Like, I don't like that. I mean, that movie's about Jack the Ripper, but like, oh my God, I love that movie. Anyway, I'm like, one of my favorite Johnny Depp movies is Benny and June. It's like probably my favorite. What's Eating Gilbert Grape is great as well. I love Sweeney Todd. Honestly, I love anything Tim Burton, Johnny Depp. Sweeney Todd is great. I mean, that was after Pirates, but anyway, I'm going on a tangent. My whole point is I love Johnny Depp. We'll support Johnny Depp. I've supported him throughout the whole Amber Heard thing. I don't know about you. I remember Amber Heard being in like Disney Channel movies, and she was in something when I was like a teenager, and I remember not liking her. And like, I don't know her as an actor, like I don't know her personally, but like as an actor or whatever, something about her was like you got the ick immediately. That was my reaction. I never really liked her. I never understood why he left his Vanessa to go to, I really don't know. She just always gave me the ick. And like, sitting and watching that trial was just, oh my God. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about that. Whole point is, huge Johnny Depp fan. So of course, this is the first time he ever like exhibited his work in public. I think he was very adverse to doing that, but he kind of started doing more art during like the whole trial phase of his life. And so I went to go see his exhibit, and this is a postcard that I bought. These are pictures that I took of his art that I printed out here. These are my favorites of what he had there. He had a room there that you went in, and it was like a mobile of like pieces of his life, of his journals. It was like stepping into his art journal. That's what it felt like. It felt like I entered the room and I was like in his art journal. And like, he had these strings coming like in the middle of the room. He had these strings falling down, and attached to the strings were like sketches and little notes and clippings from books and notes about scripts that he was reading and movies that he was filming, and little, like, there were notes on hotel stationery and paper clippings and photographs and little sketches, and they were all attached to the strings on different levels, and it was like a mobile in the middle of the room, and the room was circular. And then on the walls were curtained, but on the walls he had his art, and some of them were like framed, like legit paintings, some of them were on canvas, and then some of them looked like he just ripped it out of his journal and like put it on the wall. And it literally felt to me like I just walked in to his art journal, and it was so cool. Like, I love that kind of stuff. Yeah, it was just really cool. And like, I didn't realize how, I mean, I could have figured, but I didn't realize how diverse he was in his art. Like, he had things, like, most of his art was portraiture, and it was a lot of self-portraits. Like, he just painted and drew a lot of self-portraits. This is one of his self-portraits, and so is this one here. But he also drew painted portraits of other people. He also had a lot of there was a section filled with self-portraits of him, but like more abstract. He had this whole series about skeletons and death, the idea of death. Then he had like more traditional pieces, and it was interesting. It was interesting to see that side of him, you know, because what I see all the time is his acting, you know, and sometimes the music too, right? Because he's also a musician, and we don't rarely see the more introverted artist, and like kind of seeing his writing, and like again seeing pages from his journal and little notes that he writes himself and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool. It was like looking into somebody's art journal. I enjoyed it. I'm also a big fan, so I can be very biased, but I really enjoy it. It's called A Bunch of Stuff, and if you're in New York City, I think it's running through to next year too, because it says here 24 to 25. So check it out if you're interested in Johnny Depp. If you're a crazy obsessed fan like I am, go see. And it's really cool. So it was opening night, but I'm pretty sure like his friends went before opening night. But there's like a wall where you can leave a note to Johnny. And when I was there was a lot of notes already there from like the public, but you can tell there was still like blank spaces, and like there was one section of the board. It was really big, and I think they put like a little plexiglass over it because they wanted to preserve that. But it was a note from Robert Downey Jr. And it's just very interesting to kind of see like, oh my God. And he didn't sign it as Robert Downey Jr., but he signed it as Rob. I forget how he signed it, but you can tell that it was Robert Downey Jr. Anyway, I thought that was cool. Yes, that was that. This was another journaling class. This was on Mental Health Day. And this was a nice cozy class. These are those rub-on stickers, those Mew transfer stickers. Yeah, this is my entry for that class. And then these are the prompts for it in this pocket. That was still that class. I want to make more of that, make more shitty art. This was, oh my God, so Nazi, she had a drop of her washi tapes, her bloom tapes, and I kind of went ham and bought a lot of tapes. I have so many of her tapes now, it's not even funny. Like my bowls that I have her tapes in are overflowing. I'm just like, it's so bad. I'm obsessed. Like, she makes the best tapes. I'm a sucker for floral tapes, and Nazi makes the best ones. And so normally, I did this before in one of my other journals with the last time that I ordered tapes from one of her drops. And what I do is I peel up all the stickers. This is all the stickers that hold like the packages together. And I save every single one of them, and they all go into my journal. And so I just kind of collage them on these pages. And this is the card that she sent with her journal, and this one too. And so I tipped them in. I tipped them in using some of the tapes that I got. This one is She Desired to Live a Life of Poetry, a work of art. Love this. Love having a little bit of Nazi in my journal. Absolutely love it. Tapes are gorgeous. So the printable that I want to use for my cozy journal are the ones where are with these designs on them. So that's why I bought these design tapes. I wish I bought more of like the pink ones, but I didn't. But that's okay. I have a whole hoard of her tapes. So that was me journaling about my Amity Bloom order, because I was so happy when I got my tapes. And then this one was another journaling class. So this is a free one that she did in Domino Park. And so these are the prompts. And then I did my journaling. This was some of Nazzie's tapes, the new ones. So I had to put some there, and I have some over here as well. This is all my journaling class response. This is more of Nazzie's tapes. And I think this is also a journaling class. Yes. Oh, this is another journaling class at a different place. So 2 journaling classes back to back is what I did. This one was the beginning of Scorpio season, and I was having a time. I cried in this journaling class because I was having a very emotional time. This is the and space that I was in. Anxiety about the future versus being present in the moment. Can you all relate? Because that is me. And that is me. But I felt it really deeply in this journaling class. This is her state of being prompt, and it always brings about that and space. So that was the theme. That was the and space I was in that night. This is a quote, something that I pulled out of a Bella Grace magazine. Is that beautiful paper again? Yeah, so this is my how to live, and then just answering the prompts. Let your faith be bigger than your fears. Yes. And then there's the pocket that I have all the prompts in. And then more journaling that night. And then I think I kind of came back home that night and did some more journaling. So this was my name tag, but she had also, oh my God. Oh no, yeah. So this was the name tag from this night. I did my own name tag, but then Emily wasn't sure that if I did my name tag, so she did one for me too. This is her handwriting, and so I wanted to keep that in my journal because that's so sweet. So if you see name tags, that's why. And then this day, I did a skip the small talk. I haven't done skip the small talk in a very long time. If you remember way back, I think last year I did a skip the small talk. Well, I did one at McCarran Park House. I haven't done one in a while, and I'm so glad I did it this day. It was the same week as this journaling class. This was so nice. Like, it just, another name tag. But yeah, I had to like tip that in here because I ran out of paper, so I tipped it in because I needed to include that since it was a few days after this. And so that was my last entry on October 24th, was a skip the small talk. And I was destashing some things, and this was on a Felicity Jane project that I did, but I love that little cluster, so I glued it into my journal because I wanted to keep it. I was just kind of cleaning out my craft stuff and reorganizing. At this point in time, I'm in my new apartment, and so I was just kind of organizing my stuff. But yeah, this is my journal. I absolutely love this journal. I don't know if you can see how much I love this journal. It's just like, I haven't done this journaling in 2 years, and so just to come back to it and like have so much fun in it, and I want to do more. I just want to do more. I want it to be more stuff in here. Definitely a little different than my normal style. It's more messy, more colorful, not as minimalistic as my normal like art journals are. I want to be just messy and imperfect. So hopefully next year I can have a series of journals like this, because this makes my heart so happy. Absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. Anyway, this was a really long video. Thank you so much for sticking around with me and looking at my beautiful journal. And thank you for allowing me to share and like come back to a community all the time. Yeah. Anything you want to know or anything, feel free to leave in the comments, and I will hopefully see you all in my next video. Can't wait to start making more videos again. Like, I'm really excited to be back, and I'm hoping that I can like make the time and the space in my life to get back to this, because it's been a minute and I really missed it. So yeah, that's this journal. I really hope you love looking at it with me, and thank you so much for allowing me to share and for being here, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye, friends.